Clad Smith, baby. No, don't use, please don't. Let's get into it. I know, I'm setting myself up. It's crazy. I dug my own hole. Dug my own grave, sorry. Jeez, look at me being self-incriminating. In a lot of ways, Chrisean Rock has always been on the run. Early on in her life, she was a track and field star for Santa Monica College. But even long before that, she had to learn how to think quickly on her feet. Growing up in a family of a dozen siblings with one parent incarcerated and another struggling to remain sober, Chrisean needed to make herself as strong as possible to survive. But surprisingly, it wasn't her athletic abilities that would one day provide her with fame. Instead, it was her association with the rapper Blueface and their seemingly on and off again relationship. Now, Chrisean is probably best known as a social media influencer and aspiring singer who keeps herself in the headlines thanks to some truly befuddling and at times downright scary antics involving her well-known other half. It truly is unfortunate because, man, look at that explosiveness. Look at those lateral movements. Look at her go. It's giving D1 athlete, as the girls on TikTok would say. I mean, this woman could have been a generational Olympian. It's crazy. Instead, she's fighting Blueface in a parking lot. This girl could have been Shikari, but better. I don't know. What led Chrisean to where she is today, and what's her official relationship status with Blueface? You'll find out that and a whole bunch more on our newest episode of Before They Were Famous. But before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to find out the moment that we drop new content. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Chrisean Rock was born Chrisean Malone on March 14th, 2000 in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. She was raised in a massive family, which she was the 11th born sibling in a family of 12 kids. And as you might imagine, with a family that large, things were far from easy for Chrisean growing up. For one thing, her family moved throughout several neighborhoods when she was a child as a result of her father never being around, thanks to the fact that he was serving a prison sentence for much of her early life. In fact, Chrisean never even met her dad until she was 7 years old.
I met him when I was 7 because he came home, he was locked up for I don't know how long. I went through abuse, so getting either choked out or beat on.
Meanwhile, Chrisean's mother struggled with drug addiction, which made it difficult for her to be a consistent presence in any of her children's lives. On top of all these hardships, Chrisean also had to deal with being the victim of abuse. During an interview with Fox News where she was being profiled as a student athlete, she detailed how she was choked and beaten while just a small child. At the age of 9, things took another step in the wrong direction when Chrisean became homeless. Needing a place to sleep, she'd often wind up staying with friends and extended family members for days at a time, before inevitably having to move on and stay somewhere else. Thankfully, during this most difficult time in her life, the support from friends, coaches, and her school kept her going. Chrisean's impressive athletic ability would be the one saving grace of her childhood, and her talents as a track star would see her through high school and all the way to a scholarship at Santa Monica College in California, which she joined in 2018, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the year that Tatiana came out. In fact, not only was Chrisean an impressive collegiate athlete, she even managed to parlay that skill into an appearance on Fox's Ultimate Tag, in which she walked away with the $10,000 prize money.
It has been an historic night. Congratulations to Shawnee and Thomas, tonight's champions.
I mean, even back then, she was showing signs of being a generational athlete. This girl could have been the next Shelly Ann or Shikari or Simone Biles. Instead, Blueface had to meet her. Why? Why did Blueface have to happen to this girl, bro? She could have been the next Simone Biles. Now she's the next Tiffany Pollard? I don't know. Is that Chrisean's ceiling? I think she could be better than that. No disrespect to Tiffany Pollard. Around that same age as a teenager, Chrisean also began to dabble in social media, not knowing at the time that it would wind up to play a much heavier presence in her life than her athletics ever would. Chrisean created her official Instagram account at the age of 15 in December of 2015. A few years later, she'd start her own YouTube channel where she originally offered a few makeup tutorials and provided her audience with a taste of her athletic ability.
I don't know what to say, it's been a minute.
But after graduating from Santa Monica in 2020, in the midst of the worldwide pandemic, Chrisean's life took a drastic turn away from athletics and towards online infamy when she became a member of Blueface's Blue Girls Club, a reality series that the rapper promoted across social media platforms like YouTube and OnlyFans.
So why are you talking to me? Stop talking to me. Then she I can get you removed. I don't give a fuck, I will slap this before I leave the mall.
Having had a passion for music from a young age, Chrisean took on the moniker of Chrisean Rock during the course of this series and even began singing a few songs as well. But it was her hot and cold relationship with Blueface that really got people talking. Well, to begin with, the couple's relationship was mostly kept in the dark until more recently, when Chrisean notoriously stole Blueface's Mercedes G-Wagon in an attempt to drive back to her hometown of Baltimore.
You want that jail sympathy? That's what you wanted. You wanted that jail sympathy?
I wanted to be away from everybody. Everybody that keep calling me, everybody that keep crying to me, but nobody want to hear my cry.
During the course of her trip, she wound up getting arrested in Oklahoma in February of 2022 and was charged with distribution of a controlled substance and possession with intent to sell, on top of being in possession of a stolen vehicle. Her mugshot got plastered all over the internet, and it's something that Chrisean would poke fun at with the release of her Rainy Days music video. You might imagine behavior like that would have Blueface staying as far away from Chrisean as possible, but the truth is, the rapper just can't seem to quit her. I mean, we've all been there, right? You know, when a girl steals your car and you just... something about the way that she steals the car, just you can't let her go. I relate, Blueface. I've totally been there. I know exactly what you're going through. Maybe it has something to do with Chrisean being so willing to go out of her way to profess her love for Blueface by, say, I don't know, getting 5 tattoos in his honor across her entire body, including one right here on her neck, like it sometimes can look like a beard from a distance away. It's crazy. But the confusing thing is that while Chrisean is willing to do all this, Blueface is out there calling her things like unreliable to anybody that will listen.
We vibes. I mean, she's not reliable enough. I mean, we had an agreement.
Even with him notably calling her out on social media, Chrisean isn't willing to give up on her relationship without a fight. And I do mean that literally. This girl's got hands. Despite how relatively short-lived the relationship has been, Chrisean and Blueface have endured one scandal after another. Whether it was stealing Blueface's car, getting into physical altercations with his relatives, or even getting into a fist fight with one another in the city streets like what happened at the beginning of August in 2022. Like, man, I'm just saying, if you're a girl watching this and you're trying to shoot your shot at me, if you ever fight my mom or throw a punch at my mom, that's it. I can't date you after that. I don't know. Blueface is stronger-willed than me. He's got a stronger will than me. I could not handle that, bro. This altercation unfolded in the middle of a Los Angeles street and apparently stemmed from messages that Blueface found on Chrisean's phone involving other men. Maybe this is a dumb question, but why would a dude who literally just had a baby with another woman be wilding over what Chrisean is doing with other men? I think that's another story for another time, but this ended up with both of them being placed under investigation by LAPD. And yet, despite all this ugliness, Chrisean would tweet out less than a week later that she intended to stick by Blueface's side no matter what. It's a ride or die. The only problem, the same day Chrisean tweeted out that message of support was the same day we all learned that Blueface was about to have another kid with his original baby mama. And if you've been following this video along so far, then I'm sure you can already guess how that news went down with Chrisean. Yeah, not the greatest. During a late night tweet storm only a couple days later, Chrisean would claim to be drunk and so depressed that she was contemplating ending her life. But hold on to your hold on, folks, because by the following day, suddenly everything was seemingly right again in their relationship, with Chrisean tweeting out that Blueface had finally asked her to become his official girlfriend. So after all these unbelievable highs and lows, could these two officially be an item? I mean, to be honest, it's hard to know for sure. But the way that things seem to be unfolding, Chrisean could just as easily send out a tweet tomorrow unraveling the entire thing. As for Blueface, he hasn't exactly addressed it one way or another yet. And something tells me he probably never will. One thing is for damn certain though, either Chrisean Rock has truly found the love of her life, or these two will still be making headlines a year from now for all the wrong reasons. I don't mean to be negative or anything, but that's kind of the way it's looking. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. My bad. Well, we're just gonna have to wait and see how things shake out. I mean, after all, this has been before they were famous. But thank you everybody for watching and tuning in. Please take a moment to let us know what you thought about Chrisean's story in the comment section down below. And before you head out, please be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to help ensure our channel gets, as much growth as possible. If you'd like to watch a few other videos in this series, then please be sure to look out for our looks into the come-ups of Emily Willis, Caitlyn, and Big Boss Vet. My name is Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another video. Or that's what Blueface does, right? Yeah, I'm not cool enough to do shit like that.